Hi everyone, it's the Psychic Sleuth, and today me and Tammy are going to be recording a Dylan video. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning, so I really didn't feel like doing a live. For some reason, since this is going to be the last one that I do, I wanted to make sure that I didn't really have any distractions. So that being said, let me just explain really quickly how I work. 1 second so my dog doesn't kill himself. Of course, they were fine till I started recording. Anyways, so this is going to be Dylan rounds. I'm going to be reading to you guys a reading that I did privately with someone. I took out all the personal information, and I'm just going to give you that. And then I'm going to bring Tammy on. We're going to try another reading. It's going to be the last reading I'm going to do. Then I'm going to talk about location and where I'm feeling at. I don't think I really have to get on a map for him because honestly, I don't feel like he's far. I know people might think that's crazy because it's been searched, but I don't know what's being missed. There's some validation stuff on location that I got, and so I'll talk about that when we're done with the readings. So I can't remember what I got on this reading. So first of all, I need to tell you guys this is for entertainment purposes only. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. This is in no way fact. This is only psychic medium impressions. Viewer discretion is advised because I'm not sure what I'm going to get. Okay. So I did this reading on September 24th, 2022. I know it's taken me forever to get it out. I do apologize. A lot has come up. So remember, the information can be past, present, or future, symbolic, or have multiple meanings. Spirit will often use my references, experiences, or how I relate to things to try to explain what they're trying to say. When it comes to cases, we get bits and pieces of the puzzle. The pieces have to be put together from this reading as well as previous readings to try to figure out what he's trying to describe and say. So it's very rare we get exact locations. Things can be reference points, meaning something in that area that's significant to where he is, as well as around the area or on the way. Now, everything in the reading will point towards where Dylan is. Some may have to do with the suspect or suspects, connections to who's involved, or personal information that may help validate things to show that this is in fact coming from Dylan. It is about putting puzzle pieces and trying to see what goes where. Unfortunately, it's not something that's direct or precise or even specific most of the time. I already said all that. When things repeat, it usually means it's important. It's not being validated correctly, or maybe I'm not perceiving it. Correctly. As you guys know, my dog sense spirit sometimes, and that's what that was. Things are all how we perceive information in this work. Dylan took me back to the first reading, so I feel that's important as to where he is. Not everything may fit Dylan. I tend to get interconnects, and I do think that especially towards the end was aided. As I'm typing any extra information that comes in, I'll add to the reading. And so that came in when I was typing. I'll add whatever comes in as I was typing this up from the original reading. I was getting a vision of someone on a brown horse with a rope swinging it side to side, but it looks like they are herding cattle. It was something that repeated. They were herding cattle that way, from my understanding. I also hear the words eager to learn, hard worker, so I do feel this is him just describing himself. I also, as I'm typing this, get the word mischievous at times, which makes sense with him messing with my mic last time that we did a reading. But he was eager to learn whatever he could, and he was curious. He comes across as a very likable guy to most people. I do think he did push some people's buttons as this young know-it-all kid, how this comes across as I'm typing. But he was very intelligent. I'm seeing this image yesterday. I was seeing him sitting on a bar stool, and I don't know, he's got a mug of beer, and it's kind of messing with it and kind of looking down. Maybe he was having a hard time or something, or a bad day. Yes, I realized he wasn't old enough to drink or be in a bar, but we all know how that goes. He was showing me keys, and he's got he's kind of got these keys he's putting in my face, and it looks like a few keys on a key ring. Also, I'm getting an image of him sitting on a tailgate with his legs swinging. It's dark and the stars are shining as he's looking up, but I don't know if he ever did this, and I hear like a beer open to drink. So I can see the night sky. I feel this was his thinking time. He seems that his mind is always going, and he's always kind of stressed about something. Like he loved what he did, but sometimes things about it seem stressful on his shoulders. He was good at hiding his stress. He makes me feel like his mind was always going. I also see him working on a fence, so I don't know if he had to do work on a fence or what. He's showing me this, as well as I see him with tools on a tractor, but the fence keeps coming in as I see him with pliers working on it with something. He also talks about being proud of his truck he had, like it's something that he was really proud of, and he was very proud of all his accomplishments. As I also feel he liked to work a lot, always working, and I keep hearing a train, so I don't know what that means. No idea what it means, but I keep seeing a flower garden in someone's yard. I'm not thinking it's in his, but it may be symbolic or someone's yard that's significant. He also keeps showing me again a tractor. So I don't know if he was working on it, but I also see him riding it. So he talks about his crops and where he was going to make his crops, I should say, because they weren't completely planted or something, whatever. But way Spirit speaks as that's where I would know it is. So where he was going to put his crops. And it's dark, oddly. So I don't know if he was working around the clock, working at night. I know last time I spoke about Dylan, he kept talking about his crops. He shows me that he only went to his motorhome to sleep, and that was basically it. I don't know, this boy seemed to always be going. And I wonder if he was ever working on his crops at night, because I kept hearing a tractor. He shows me like him constantly going. He would only really sleep at his trailer, and that was it. I also hear the word soil samples. I also hear the words three frenemies. And he wants to take me down the road and keeps pointing down the road. I don't know exactly where, but I keep seeing a dirt road. I do keep getting white hair again, a temper, and keep hearing an argument. The guy is large, I see, and I'm always reminded of large shoulders. And again, I'm shown money, so I'm not really sure why, but I feel it's significant. I hear the words boss, so I'm not sure what that means either. There's something with the soil samples, not sure what. I'm showed weed plants, so I don't know if it's weed or some other type of plant. I also hear the word operation. I hear the word neighbor again, anyone that would be considered one. The word neighbors. There is something about this soil, I'm not sure. It feels there may be more important than just a validation. I hear the word grow house too. So I am not sure if someone was growing and not supposed to or what. I don't know how it makes sense. Also, as I'm typing, the word fentanyl keeps repeating and it won't go away. I also see brick/rock wall. So I don't know if someone has one on their property. I keep hearing these cows, so it must be a big part of where he is, but also I guess they were rounding them up that weekend. I do keep hearing an argument, and again, I hear the word operation, so I'm not really sure how they are going together. Every time I try to get into what happened, I hear yelling by two men, him and someone else. I get an older, bigger guy, someone that has a temper and drinks. It does remind me of who I described in the beginning in the first reading, either involved or connected. And I hear the word ride. And I think he was needing a ride or something. There's something with that that was validated during the reading. But I keep trying to get what happened, and it's like I'm struggling with it for some reason. So I don't know if he didn't want to tell the person I was talking to or not. But my head hurts. I feel like I'm in an argument, and then I'm struck in the head with something. I hear a gunshot, which I did before. I think there's 3 people that know are involved all together, though. But one person that did it, if that makes sense. I also hear the words friend or foe as I'm typing. And I'm also getting a younger guy with brown hair, a tan cowboy hat, boots that kind of point, and jeans. But I don't know who he is or why I keep seeing him. I keep seeing the fence like wooden posts that remind me of like wire or barbed wire. He says the fence line again. I don't know if it's barbed wire, but the wire kind of goes in between the wooden posts. A mention of his crops again, or where he was making his crops. I keep getting this like drainage or creek or something with green on both sides. I keep seeing that. So I don't know if it's a reference point or what. Things can also be where evidence is, but it's kind of like a drainage off, a runoff of some kind with green on both sides. I don't know if it's symbolic or what. I feel like he's going to not be far from his crops. And that drainage type thing that keeps coming in, I keep hearing right under your noses, and I'm like not I'm not far. And my head just started to hurt on the back of left side. I keep feeling him. Keep feeling like I'm hit with something. Then later I hear a gun go off. I keep getting the guy I've always seen, although I can't be certain who he is. I hear the words tempers flared. I keep getting suspenders as well, some odd reason. I keep hearing like this, like you can see a flannel with dark blue kind of through rocks, and the left side of my head keeps hurting. He's showing me keys again. I don't know if these keys have more than one meaning. Also, a flagpole is coming in. When I saw it, it's just a pole. It doesn't have a flag on it, so I'm not really sure what that means. I also get the number 12. Now numbers can be address, miles, months, days, years, etc. Also 5 and 15. Not really sure at the time why the numbers all of a sudden. Also 8. So I don't know if that was for his birthday or not. And 21. So I keep wanting to go behind a property. It may be Dylan's, but back towards the back of the property, towards the fence line. So I'm not sure if the back of the property is a grain shed or Dylan's. However, I do keep getting his crops or where he was going to plant them. I kept seeing them like turning the soil as I'm typing. I also get a guy with a potbelly button-up flannel shirt with squares on it and a brown hair and some facial hair sometimes. I keep wanting to go back behind a property, which I really think it's Dylan's. I also keep getting a Richard as possible connection, if that fits here. I also get a reference to smoking cigarettes or cigars. I feel like he's close, but people again are missing him. He's being concealed pretty good. Private property or place, not really searched. I don't feel he's in a mine. I mean, that could be the rocks, but I don't know if that's him. I have not really ever felt that. I keep getting this drainage type thing, like water flowing down into it. And it may or may not have a little pipe at the end that may be symbolic, and there's green on both sides. Then I get a reference to border of his property, fence line, his crops, and cows. I do feel he's on a property that comes in pretty strongly. I feel people were close, but not exact. I also feel a wash or creek bed dried up. I don't know if this is him or Aiden in the area, because apparently that kind of fits him. But I keep getting this fence line, creek or runoff, and green on either side, but a reference to wash or dry creek bed with rocks on either side. And again, a pole, like a flag pole with no flag, randomly sticking out of the ground. I did get a pond in the first reading, so that may relate to the one on Dylan's property, like a reference point. I guess his phone was thrown in there, so that could be another reason I'm getting it. There's a reference to historical place with cement thing and a plaque on it. I don't know if this is for Dylan, though. I do also know some of this is Aiden. Also the color red as well. I also got antelope. That word, I'm not really sure where it fits, as Dylan's energy was fading. This also feels like an argument that went too far, and it also, the well seems to be important as well as gallon drums, but the direction feels back of property or acreage came up in prior readings. So that is what I got back then in that reading for Dylan. Rereading it, I guess I got more information than I thought, because I wasn't really happy with that reading too much. I felt like he was holding back, and again, it may be because he didn't want to tell the person that I was talking to whatever. Maybe he wants to protect that person, you know what I mean? So there might be a reason he was holding back. And I'm getting a headache already, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring Shazam on, and we're gonna see if I can get any more information. I don't know. I'll find out. If not, then I just don't. There you are. Hi, your mic's off.
Hello.
Hi. Always forget to do that too. Oh, I gotta get his picture. Dang it. I'm already getting a headache all of a sudden. See, that picture I used on the... I need a different... I just use that one. I always try to use a different one, but he's like squinting, and all the other ones are like you can't really see his eyes that well.
Yeah.
There's only one you can really see his eyes well in, and it sucks because they don't really have any recent pictures. So, yeah. Okay. Here we go. All right. So things have been getting a little bit stronger for me. So hopefully, we'll get some better information.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't want to work. Okay, so I can tell you off the bat, my chest is hurting tremendously.
Okay.
Like extremely, tremendously. Almost like I've been shot in the chest. Like it's a sharp pain right in the heart area, and I don't think I've ever gotten that with him.
No.
It's weird because my spine, the middle of my spine is also hurting.
Okay.
So these might be things that were affected, but it's like it's really bad. Like I'm twitching it so bad is what he's making me feel. And I don't think it's my own because I didn't have that 2 seconds ago.
Right.
I mean, even my lower stomach is hurting. So it's like chest all the way down, but there's something with the middle of my spine that is like, I don't know, bad. I don't know if I'm hearing that right. I heard shot in the back.
Okay.
But I don't, it's kind of weird because, all right. My pin isn't working. Oh, wait, this is the wrong way. Is this the right one? I just got a brand new pin. I went over and got it, but I don't know what I did with it now. Trying to understand what I'm seeing. So when I'm like quiet like this, I'm just like I'm getting some stuff and I can't make sense of it to really describe it to you guys yet. It smells kind of weird in here all of a sudden. I don't know, that's a weird smell, like almost like an egg smell, like sulfur kind of which is usually I would say I would be worried that's like a demon thing, but it's not. I think it's more like the smell of maybe water that he's by or something like nasty water. It's kind of weird because it was like here and went. And I don't really he's kind of all over the place at the moment. Because I cannot make sense of this at all. There's something about a ride that's significant. Like, I don't know if he got it, like someone picked him up because he was walking. I mean, the trailer is still significant, so I don't know if they took him to the trailer and something happened there. But I don't know if he was wanting a ride. I'm not really sure. I don't. Like, I'm trying to make sense. Now the back of my head is hurting. I'm trying to make sense of what he's showing me, and I just can't make sense of it right now. Because it's like I see him walking in the rain. There's a reference to I don't know, like a truck pulling up or something. I'm really not understanding that. Kind of goes with the word ride I got in the last reading, but I don't know if he just needed a ride.
Well, he was bringing us truck.
Right. Like I don't know if someone like ran into him when he was walking on the side of the road kind of thing.
Okay.
It's weird because I keep getting that, but then I keep getting the same guy I've always seen.
Okay.
And I keep seeing like a brown horse.
Oh, wow.
Like him on horseback. And I don't really know what that's about. Because it's two separate visions. And I don't understand this at all. I don't get it, Dylan. You're gonna have to be clear with me. I'm not understanding what you're showing me. I keep getting operation. Like there's some. I don't know if he ran across. I know that like out there, the farming and stuff is called operations, but this feels something like illegal.
Oh.
I don't really know. I don't really understand it either. He's giving me stuff I don't. He's kind of like scattered, which is weird because he's always communicated with me really good.
Right.
It might be me because it's like really late, but or I might just be questioning what I'm getting, but for some reason I'm kind of struggling with him, which I usually don't. So I think there's okay. I really think that there's 3 people that maybe know about it or are involved in it. It's not just, I mean, I don't know if the person was helped. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's not. I keep getting like 3 people were involved or knew or something, but there's something with see when I kind of try to ask him about JB, I get nauseous with it.
Okay.
I think he's involved somehow, but what I'm trying to figure out is like who the other 2 people are and exactly what this was about. I do feel that they maybe thought he had more money than he had, or there's a reference to see the way things are coming across is I feel like for one there was definitely an argument because I hear 2 men yelling.
Right.
Then there's a reference to like I think they were gonna rob him or I don't know what JB's connection is to these other 2 guys.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a drug connection or because it kind of feels like there's something shady going on. Is the way that it's coming across. Like I don't think like he's being framed or anything like that. I think there's evidence that points towards JB. Otherwise, they wouldn't have arrested him and stuff. Like I think that, and I keep getting something about his temper,
Right.
but there, and Dylan wasn't one to like take shit.
Right.
Like I feel like if someone came at him, he's gonna fight back, and also if someone like popped off to him, he's gonna pop off back. Like he's not one to take any crap, and so that's kind of coming across, but there's something about, I hear the word deal. So I don't think it was Dylan's deal, but I feel like maybe there's something going on around the grain shed.
Okay.
That maybe he found out about, or a neighbor or something. There's some kind of, it's got like two parts to it, kind of. It's kind of like maybe he found out about something, but at the same time they thought he had money. Like, I feel like money was a huge factor here, because they thought that he was always working and always going and always doing. So I feel like they thought he had more money than he did, or they thought they knew something that he was doing that day. Like, apparently he had a check. And so I feel like they knew about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't even, I don't think he had a cash or anything like that. So it's almost like they thought things weren't true about him having money and stuff like that. And I think it was supposed to be about, like, I'm going to take your money, I'm going to rob you. But Dylan fought back, and I think it turned ugly at that point. Like, I think it escalated is the word I hear. So
Okay.
it's almost like JB's he's got to be involved, because I always see him as an involvement, but I just don't know if it's directly or indirectly kind of thing. But what's weird is in the other readings I did, it was only him that I saw. And these last two, I keep getting that there's two other people that I don't know if they know or helped or something like that. But I keep hearing argument. Like, this was an argument that went too far, and it's almost like Dylan was saying, I don't have the money, I don't have any money, I don't know what you guys want, I don't have any money. And they didn't believe him.
Okay.
There is a sense of, I hear the word narcotics. I don't know if that would be fentanyl.
Could be.
I'm not really sure, but also I keep seeing like that grow house, but I'm not really sure why he's bringing that up. If he's trying to say that JB was involved with these people. I know he was more of a drinker. I don't know if he did anything like that, but money, it would have to be like money involved. Like, maybe he was helping sell, or I don't really know, but it's really like not coming in as clear as I would like it to, as far as the motive, as far as like what the heck happened, because it's kind of like, I know I'm in the freaking dark.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I'm having a hard time seeing. And it's like, how do they know like where he was? Like, it's weird, because I keep seeing like a truck pull up. I think I got white truck in my first reading.
Yep.
And it didn't match Dylan's truck, but it was like, I kept seeing like an older white truck. And then I keep hearing like someone, like a horse, like someone's riding a horse, which is, I don't understand that.
The people that maybe helped.
I just am trying to figure out. I think I'm confused, because I'm trying to figure out how this fits into JB.
Right.
But I feel like I mean, I know people don't want to hear that. Some people don't want to hear that, but I don't know if he got himself in with people that he shouldn't have. I don't know why I'm struggling with him so much tonight. I just wonder if he's giving limited information for a reason.
Could be.
or he just doesn't want to talk to me. I hear it's crazy out there, so I don't know if he's just referencing like it's just like weird crap goes on. But I constantly see him moving like moving from one job to another. Like he was always working. Like that comes in as he was a very hard worker. He was always working, and I found out he did do soil samples. So I don't know if he found something in the soil samples that like is weird. Because it kind of comes in as like I'm pissed off at you because you found something out, but then it's like I know you've got money and I need money.
Okay.
Like that's kind of how that's how it's coming in with him. Sorry. And I'm just wondering if, it's like I'm seeing all this stuff in my head, but I like can't make sense. I can't make sense of it. I feel like whatever happened, like mostly, I keep feeling like I'm at the trailer. Like I end up at the trailer, whether they picked him up and he didn't think anything of it, and you know they took him to the trailer and things went bad from there.
Okay.
It's weird because it's like I get two people in that truck, but then then it's almost like JB gets there a separate way. It's kind of weird. I don't really know how to. It's not making sense to me. Really, seriously, it's not. I get the word neighbors.
Okay.
Like more than one. And there's that, there's the word friend or foe comes in, like, people that you think they're your friends, but they're not. And they want to stab you in the back. I hear the words no alibi. So I don't know if that's JB or not. I kind of feel like it's directed at him.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how that, because it's so freaking weird because I only saw him in all my other readings, and now I'm getting these other two people in, but yeah, I still feel like he's involved somehow. Like it's almost like Dylan was taken on by three people.
Okay.
In the scheme of things. Okay, so one guy looks like he has like dirty blonde hair. It's kind of scraggly.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not really sure who he is. His nose is kind of pointy. He's like skinny. There's a reference to like acne on his face. And his hair is like on the longer side. But it's like a dirty blonde, but so that's the first time I've ever seen that guy.
Okay.
Because again, I gotta go with my first reading because that was before anything ever came out about who was arrested later on, 3 weeks later. So there's a reason I saw him. There's a reason I saw him before anything came out. So that's not a what the heck? Or saw someone that looked like him anyways. But or that matched every detail.
Right.
So there's significance there. And I'm trying to figure out I don't know who this other guy is. He's kind of like, he looks like he may be like, a meth head or someone that's like desperate at this point.
Okay.
It's almost like I hear the word opportunity, and I don't know if that's because like he was walking alone and this was an opportunity. But also it's weird because it kind of feels like in a way it was planned at the same time.
Wow.
But that might have been like prior. I really am sorry. I'm not like understanding or really making great sense of what he's showing me. It's all kind of like, it's not as clear as most of my visions are. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just not clear. It's not clear on who the people are. I mean, JB has to be involved because again, he's who I saw before anybody was mentioned.
Yeah.
I don't know who this. Here comes Quentin's cat. I don't know. I don't know who the other guy is or the reference to the ride. Like, I don't even know. Anyways, it's almost like something goes wrong in his trailer. I still feel like they didn't mean to hurt him, but things got out of hand. And arguments and wanting some money kind of went too far. I feel like they didn't believe him when he said he didn't have it. And then there was a point where he was kind of like putting up a fight. Because I see him being pushed around. And I see him, it's like, it's kind of all together to where it's like he's fighting, he's getting beat up, and then again I hear the gunshots, which I think is something that's always come in.
Right.
But it's more than I think it's more than once. So Dylan's kind of, it's not very clear tonight. I don't know what's going on. I keep hearing something like the word like Earnhardt. I don't know if that's for him or like even if that's his case. I don't really know what the heck that is. It's like feels like a last name or something like that. A last name, a street name, something like that. It's just kind of weird that it's.
Come on, Dylan.
Yeah, I know. He's kind of frustrating me a little bit. But there might be a reason he's not giving up information.
Right.
To protect whoever, or I'm not really sure. I feel like the last couple of times I connected with him, he's been holding back. But I always go back to the first reading as being most accurate.
Yeah.
But it just might not be the full picture. So I still feel like these people like lived around him.
Right.
And again, JB, I feel it's like he's in the center of it, or like he's definitely, I mean, they definitely have evidence with him. So, I mean, it makes sense. And again, I saw him before anything came out. So I can't stray away from that.
Right.
Because it's an initial vision. I just don't know who the other two people are or how they connect. But this feels like some kind of like, I don't know if it's like an illegal operation or like, I don't know if that's just what the people were involved in. I wish he would talk to me like Quentin does.
Right.
That little boy, he shows me things better than probably most adults. But it could be too that he's just tired of doing readings.
Yeah, it feels like he's already
So I
do
mean,
everything.
they don't have to come. They can get sick of it. Or he's just having a hard time showing me at the same time kind of what happened.
Right.
So Urquhart or Urquhart. I don't know. I can't make it out. I think I got a J before, but it's coming in again, which is interesting. Money seems to be big, and it's always been big since the very beginning. But it's almost like I feel like, they wanted to rob. Like they knew about that check he had, and they thought he went and cashed it or something. Because that's kind of how it comes in. Like I think they're like, he has a bunch of money right now or something like that. But there's also, again, I keep getting an argument that he's having or that he had. And I don't know if like I said, the JB knows these guys and he got pissed off and he kind of told them and they're like, well, let's go do this kind of thing. It's possible that
Right.
that's a probability. So I kind of want to, I guess, I always get the back of, like, I don't feel like it's weird because before he took me out in the mountains, and that could be for any reason. And that was like the second reading or something. As we know, I kind of get further away the more readings I do, but it's almost like I feel like he's closer. Like, again, I keep getting like a fence line. And like I want to go to the back, I believe, of where his trailer was. And so I don't know if he's like on like towards the back of the property or it's just past the back of the property, but I feel like I found out that there's wells out there that have like barrels like what I got, and I'm wondering if it's a reference point and he could be in the well and they would just need to take a camera down there and just check, because I like that's been bugging me and I have no way to cross it off my list if that's where he is or not. And the fact I kind of smelled nasty water, I'm kind of wondering now.
Yeah.
Because it would be really easy if someone knew where it was.
Right.
Like no one's looked there. So I don't know if it's a reference point or he's actually in it. I think there's a couple of them.
Right.
But I keep getting that and like a fence line. So I'm not really sure what the fence line is about. Those fences that are like they have like posts and they have like the wires. I keep getting that. And that could just be, I don't even know if that's how the fence looks, but so, and another thing he shows me is the crops he was making. So it's almost like he's giving reference points.
Right.
I still hear down the road, but I don't know if he's talking about who's involved or if he's saying like, because he stayed down the road from the grain area, which is where they checked. So I'm not really sure what that means.
Okay.
It's hard because everything looks the same out there. There's nothing
Right.
that I can give you for a landmark because it's literally nothing, but sand. So, if he's not in those wells, then he's got to be like close by them, maybe just hidden really well. He's either on or very close to his properties. I think. I don't know. He's not helping me out much tonight. But it's weird. It's because that's what I've been feeling. That's why I'm like, I need to get Dylan's done. I need to get Dylan's done because I keep going like if I'm standing at his RV or where he was staying, with trailer, whatever it's called, I want to go back behind it and go back, like way back there.
Right.
And again, I know he's got like 600 acres or something.
Okay.
Where the grain shed is. And oh, excuse me, guys, it's late. I did get acreage before, so I'm just wondering if he's trying to say like he's by his. It's weird. I got a headache with that.
Oh, you always
I wonder if they've checked that entire acreage.
I don't know.
Like I get so lost when I look out there. I don't know what's what, where. I'm actually was gonna look at the map, and if I feel a pool anywhere, I'll tell you guys. I just haven't been able to. But it's weird. Like as I'm talking about the crops, I feel like getting the blood taste in my mouth, and I'm getting a headache.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if he's trying to tell me something. He's a little creeper. Because I keep seeing my head just started pounding with that when I started talking about the crops.
Yeah, and it seems like that happens a lot when you're close.
Well, it does on a map, but I've never had it do that in a reading.
Okay.
I wonder if his tractor stayed out by the crops. Because it'd be easy just for someone to put on the tractor, dig a hole. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um,
Echo was on the property, I think. It wasn't picked up until after he was already missing. So, I mean, he could
and
be
I
further.
think because he always worked at night, like maybe no one would think anything of it.
Right.
Or he worked at night sometimes is the way it came across. Like maybe somebody just thought he was working at night.
Yeah.
But you would think that people would hear it and say something, but
That's a 5 miles between anything from
okay.
where he was playing.
So there's something, like I said, with where he was growing his crops and where he lived. And I don't know if I'm getting too. I don't really know because it's like I want to go from the house back. From, well, not the house, the trailer, whatever, like back, like way back there. But I don't know where the crops are in relation to that because when I mentioned the crops, there's a headache again. There's something about where he was doing his crops at. It's got to be, and that's the problem. I don't know if Ellie's checked like the crops or they just kind of
Right, because the dirt's going to look disturbed anyways.
right.
So, if he was buried under that.
It's so weird because whenever I've mentioned crops before, I've never felt this way.
Right.
It's like I felt fine, and as soon as I said crops, I got a pain in my head.
Yeah.
And Dylan always comes in with a pain in my head. And I'm just curious, like, how many acres? Like, he has like 600 acres. That's a lot of acres.
Yeah, it is.
And especially to search.
Right.
And
the dogs can only smell so far down. Sorry.
Yeah, no, they can, like 15 feet or something. But I don't even know if they really took dogs there. Like,
Yeah.
and really did what they were supposed to do with them. From what I hear, they didn't. So,
right.
That's just so weird that I feel like that when I say the crops. It's like every time I say it, my headache gets worse.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird. Because I was pretty positive about the wells because I got barrels randomly, and it happens that there's barrels that cover those wells. So I was pretty positive about it. It could be they threw a gun down there. It could be, I'm not really sure, but there's a reason for it. I mean, it wouldn't take much to just throw the camera down there and just look and see. Because I keep getting like the soil. I don't know I don't know how it is in the desert for planting things. Like if the soil, they have to use like a special soil that they add or something like that. Unless it's just being symbolic for like, when you're gardening and you're kind of turning the soil over.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, do they use manure?
I'm not sure if they did where he is, but normally they would.
Yeah, I know they used to use it when I used to work out in a farm. They would use it because I kind of get that smell. And so I'm wondering if like it was added as a fertilizer.
Could have been.
And that's what I'm kind of smelling or getting a sense of or seeing.
Yeah.
Like the dirt being turned over that has fertilizer in it. And I don't know if he had that, but I don't know if he was preparing to plant, and that's why, like, it looks like it, like you said, it's already disturbed. Like, it makes kind of sense.
Yeah. He started planting like half his crops, and then he said it was going to rain, so he was going to put the rest in the barn. So he didn't get them all, but he did get some planted.
Right.
So, yeah.
So it's what was that?
That's Greg.
No, something black went across your screen.
There's a fly that won't go away. That's obsessed with sitting by the
cool.
camera. I've been swishing it.
It's like, what the heck? My EMF is not going off to tell me if this is right or not. It was the weirdest thing. So,
yeah.
There's something with his crops. There just is. I feel like I want to cough. Does the crops have runoff?
Have what?
Like runoff from like a sprinkler system, I wonder? Or some kind of runoff for like natural runoff, like when it rains and it kind of like runs off. I don't really know how it is out there.
I
don't know anything about it, because that kind of comes into is like a runoff kind of thing like that I've gotten before, but it feels more like a reference, something to a reference place.
I think putting a system in, and that's why the pond was there. He built a pond.
The pond isn't over by where the crops are, is it?
I'm pretty sure it is, because that's what he was using for water.
Okay, so that can be, because I know they drained the pond and that's why they found the phone. So that's probably why I got the pond, but it could also be a reference point too.
Right.
Because what I'm having a hard time figuring out is like why he's giving me back behind the house in the mention of the wells, but then he's taking me to the crops, because I think they're two separate places, unless they kind of.
They're 5 miles away from each other. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure. Unless one's where like they threw a gun or something, and then one's where he's at.
Yeah.
Or it's more like I'm getting a perimeter, like a 5 mile perimeter kind of thing.
Okay.
But he's taking me like back, like he's trying to show me you walk back from the from the trailer.
Right.
Because every time I talk about his crops, I get like super sick, and I feel like he's like right underneath everybody's noses. Like it's like crazy. Like if they find him, it's going to be crazy where they find him. It's going to be weird. It feels like it's going to be so obvious, and people are going to be like, what the heck? He was there the whole time. Kind of like Kylie.
Right.
Like, what the heck? She was there the whole time. Like, it's kind of like the same kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And my head is hurting more again. I don't know how much of a help this reading is. I really just want to do a location. I really just want to like find a location for him. Really, the problem is that we have a lot of times where FBI or police will say that they'll search somewhere, and it will be cleared, but then they go and find a body there.
Yeah.
Kind of like the same thing with Kylie. I know it's water, it's different, but I've seen it many times where they said that an area's been searched and then they come back and there's been something there.
Yeah.
And so I just wonder if they're overlooking because his crops are there.
Could be.
Like they don't want to disturb the crops, or they're not thinking about that, or I'm not really sure because it's really weird. And I want to say the crops resonate because of how I felt when I said it.
Right.
And that could mean he's by it or on it. But again, I get the fence line. So it feels like what I'm saying is kind of significant.
Right.
Like I just get like that close to home feeling. Like I don't feel like his body was moved far, but it's almost like it's almost like they I don't think they traveled with him. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like I don't want to get caught with him. Like this was already a situation that like they I don't think it was planned to happen this way. They just thought he would give him whatever and that would be it.
Right.
Beside or the argument, whatever this was, because it's weird how it's coming through with two different things.
Right.
And like I don't think it was like supposed to happen like this. I just think things got out of control is how it comes across. But then it's like I feel like I don't feel like they traveled anywhere with him. I see two people carrying him, and it's almost like he's mouthing the word crops to me. So I don't know if that's what he's saying his body is, but it's weird that I got a headache when he said it the first time.
Right.
And I didn't have it before that. And it's kind of like again, I can smell like manure kind of smell, and I don't know again if that's symbolic. Or he's by a place where there's a horse or was a horse, like corrals or something like that.
Right.
Again, I don't know what's out there, but those are. I keep hearing property line too, so I don't. He's messing up my flow.
So good looking. So good looking. Gonna mess with that flow. All right.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We all know how men are. They just.
Yeah.
I can't get away that he's got to be on or around that property. But like I said, 600 acres is really long.
Yeah.
And I do keep hearing like a tractor. So it makes me wonder if they didn't use one.
Right.
It's almost like I see JB being the one to like think or dispose, or I don't know who the freak these other two guys are, how they connect. That's like throwing me off. This is the first time I've seen them. I don't know. I mean, I did get 3 in the last reading, like that know or helped or something.
Right.
I don't know.
I wish I could say I like saw a picture or something, but I don't really seen a lot of picture of.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's significant because like I feel like, I mean, they obviously have something to keep, like to, arrest him and try to keep him and stuff. Like they obviously there's something there, and like I said, I know people don't want to feel like he's involved or he's being framed or whatever. But to me, he comes across as like someone like you don't trust. Like, he's got a wild temper. He's got a wild temper, and I feel like he'll just fly off the handle. And, I think he's like abusive. Like, I think he's abusive to his animals and anybody, really. The way he talks to them or whatever. But he is not a nice guy. And I feel like you don't want to cross him. And I feel like, see, as I'm talking about him, I get a headache. Like, that's what I'm saying. And I get nauseous every time I kind of talk about him. So I can't get away from that. I mean, I know some people, you never want to think that somebody's involved that but it's this feeling that I can't get away from him. Like, his temper is just like crazy. Like, especially when he drinks and stuff like that, which I feel he's always mostly drunk. I hear the word lazy too, so drunk and lazy. Yeah. But so I don't know if he recruited these guys. Because I hear kind of like recruit. The words recruit. It's kind of weird. And I don't know if it came after the fact because it's all coming mixed up. Like, I'm not getting a clear picture, which is really weird. So I guess my focus, if he's not wanting to be, unless I've already got it,
right.
Basically, I mean, I think that's it. I'm not really getting anything else, and this is kind of like crazy. Because he came in so strong before, but it's almost like he doesn't really have much else to tell me. Right. Or he doesn't want to tell me anymore, or I don't really know. But it's weird. Every time I connect with him, it gets harder and harder.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure why that is. He's just done talking to me.
Sick of it, maybe.
Yeah, kind of. And usually he's making stuff happen. He's not doing that tonight. I've got a major headache, though. And it came in when I was talking about JB, and it came in when I was talking about the crops. And I still got it. So I feel like it's, and I want to cough. So it kind of makes me feel like he's in dirt. Usually when I want to cough, I feel it's because I'm there. It's dirt, sand, something like that. I didn't see he was buried before in the different reading, but I'm wondering if that's not Aiden.
Right.
That I saw just kind of up against rocks or something, because I feel like he's come in a few times in my readings and it might be an interconnect.
Yeah.
Because that would kind of make more sense for him.
Yeah.
Because it's weird because it doesn't seem like, it's weird that I got taken in the mountains before, though. I don't understand that. Unless it was like they dumped him and then they went out there, or they dumped, I don't know. Different case. I'm not really sure. So my readings can be a little confusing, but the more readings that I do, I tend to get further away from, location and all of that. So I try not to do too many readings, but I don't know. I was worried he wasn't going to really come in that much tonight for some reason.
Yeah.
But
he's like, I get it all to you. Follow the clues.
Yeah, he's kind of adamant. He's kind of adamant with like the crops and like what I was mentioning. He's kind of adamant with all of that.
Yeah.
And I think in prior readings, like he was the same way. He kept like saying property, like down the road, and that could be either or. That could be, down the road from the grain shed, down the road from a trailer, kind of thing.
Right.
And it was always a property kind of is what I was getting. And even when I got border, it could be the border property. It could be like the border for a different reason. But, and again, I'm just mentioning stuff that came in prior readings already.
Yeah.
But I got this headache that won't go away, and I'm like super nauseous, and it's weird because I'm just thinking about like the property, and I'm feeling that way. And I will try to find it on a map and see how I feel, but I have a problem finding it on a map because it just looks like dirt. And I have a hard time finding his property. Someone sent me coordinates today. I mean, I guess I could look and try to see. I kind of wanted to find it myself, but it's like I said, it's all damn dirt. It's so.
And they don't really have address out there, right? There wasn't no address for like where his.
Yeah, I don't really.
trailer was.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
hard.
I think
It was hard to pinpoint for me on the map.
Well, he gave me coordinates. I mean, someone gave me. I don't know how to put in coordinates. Like I don't know how to put it in.
You want to send it to me and I'll do it?
Yeah. I just want to see how I feel. Or if I'm pulled in any other direction, or if I just want to stay there. Because we're noticing that I get pulled in different, it's kind of like, okay, this feels right, this feels wrong,
Right.
I just kind of want to see if I feel pulled anywhere, or if I just kind of want to stay at the.
Tell me if that looks.
I can never get the damn coordinates to do what I want.
It's like the right area.
It's just white. Why is it just white?
That's what I was wondering.
It's freaking weird. Is it white on your map too?
Yeah. Well, it looks like it's been worked on.
What do you mean?
Like it looks like.
No, see, it's white. There's no map. Yeah, it's not pulling up on mine. It's just a dot in the middle, and nope, it's not showing up like that at all.
Really?
Yeah. See, it's white. It's white with a red dot.
Did you push satellite?
It does not let you push anything.
Do you have that the square thing out right here?
No.
No?
It gives me an X up there to X out of where I was. I don't understand that the link isn't really working. What is that noise? It just takes me to a white map.
Let me try it a different way.
Sorry guys, it's like 2:00 in the morning.
It's 4:24.
Well, yeah, it's 4 for her, 2 here. 222 here.
Like it looks like it's been farmed.
I'm not pulling anything up but a white background and a red dot.
That is so weird.
I'll show you.
See, it looks farmed. That's the whole area right there. How about I give it to you the way it is now? And then I'll just send you like the copy. No, yeah, I saw it. There you go. Try entering that in the, just in your search here thing at the top. See if it works that way. That is weird. Because in the pictures, there's even a barn that looks like it's broken.
I mean, I get the pictures, but I didn't get the whole thing. Okay, that worked.
Okay, cool. See how it looked like it looks farmed now. It's weird.
I keep feeling like I got a cough. It's weird because it's like really sandy in that. See those black looking rocks?
Yeah.
A little pigeon road. It's like kind of like what I was seeing before. So I wonder if that's a reference point because it looks like it's not far from his farm, but that's on a map. Okay, so there's his pond. I can see his pond.
Where do you? I was trying to find the pond.
I don't see like anything else, but I see I see a pond. See, this creek right here is like weird and like I can't really see it.
I just think it's weird that if you look up and zoom out a little bit, his farm's right here, or where the pin is.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go right up here and there's a circle right there. I wonder if that's the well. Like just zoom out and look up to the right.
I'm trying. Oh, I see. I don't know.
I just thought it was weird. I don't know if that's what it is. It could be a pile of something else.
I can't even tell. Like, it's so hard because, like I said, it's so hard to. Because Spirit works with landmarks and stuff with me, and there are none.
Right. I mean, it could be just like a fire pit for all we know.
Like,
But
I
I'm
mean,
just
is
saying
this
it looks
even
weird.
the right location? Because it doesn't look anything like. I mean, actually, he's not far from the border.
That's what the coordinates gave me, and I put them in both ways, and it gave me the same area. So.
Okay. I mean.
Wait, that is weird. That can't be right.
I know, it doesn't look.
It says Birmingham or something like that. Brigham?
Where?
That's literally the coordinates. Brigham City, Utah. I'll just send it to you. Right under the picture.
I don't know. I get very frustrated with this map, and I keep hearing, "Oh, that's not the right spot. Oh, that's the right spot. Oh, that's not the right spot."
Yeah, I don't know. See, it says Brigham City, Utah. And I put them in both ways to make sure I had the right area. And it brought me to the same place both times.
I mean, my headache is like bad. It's like weird. You don't see anything though.
Here, I'm gonna try something.
So.
What town did he live in?
Well, it makes sense because it's the sun tunnels are right there, which everybody's talking about. He's not in the sun tunnels. I heard those are like just stupid. I mean, I think it's got to be right. I don't know. And he sent me pictures too, but.
Oh, that can't be right. It's not in Lucin.
Yeah.
Well, it's a 20-minute drive. 10 miles.
Okay, so he sent me this. I mean, I was trying to find it on my own, but I hear the word mechanical, like he's more of a mechanical person.
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
So Dylan's farm is nowhere near the grain shed?
Well, this is
So it says grain shed boots Bivens farm, which is what I sent you. Then it shows where, okay. Then it shows he's, I don't know. It
from
shows
those, from
Dylan's farm is down. It's not near the grain shed. That would be, according to this, it would make it like by his house or his trailer or whatever the frick it is. Which, if that's right, the little black area is interesting behind it. But I don't understand. I don't know. I mean, my head hurts looking at this. I've not really looked at a lot of. I've not
I
really looked
see
at a lot of maps for his farm because I get just so confused because everything like looks the same and I just kind of get a little disoriented.
right.
It's like weird to say. I don't know. But remember, I kept seeing like the lava-looking rocks and stuff. I think it's like a reference point. It looks like there's some like not
Right
far
there.
from the farm. Yeah. Like I don't know what area that is. I don't know if that's that Devil's Playground or not. But I don't think he's there. I just think it's like a reference point. But because I always see like the lava rocks and like little pathways that walk through them. So I don't know what it looks like there. And again, I think that's him, but it could be Aiden or something. But it's like it's more like a reference point. Like I really kind of feel strongly that he's either on or around his property. I really kind of feel on, like because the acreage came in before. It's like I don't feel like I want to go anywhere else right now. Because like in Quentin, I was pulled up, and when I went down, it didn't feel right, and when I went left, it didn't feel right. It was just like I just wanted to go up. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like I wanted to go down or anything. And it's weird looking at this. Like I don't really want to leave that area. And my mapping has gotten better since, before I worked on this as far as feeling things.
Yeah.
And I just I feel like I've got like I get that feeling of when somebody's like buried. Like I want to cough, like I've got dirt and my chest is hurting again. I mean, if they want to find him, they're gonna have to scour that area, like where his farm is, where wherever his crops are. Like I explained, like my head is killing me right now looking at this.
In where the farm was?
Yeah, and it's like I feel like I don't want to go anywhere. Like, I feel like if I get too far away from the farm, because I was scrolling around right now, it doesn't feel right. Like my teeth are even hurting now.
Huh.
Like he's trying to really. I mean, I could feel that way because it's the desert. Desert sucks.
Right.
But I don't think so because, like, if I feel like I don't want to go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like it feels. Now that we're learning how I feel on a map, and I'm recognizing it a little bit, and what it feels like, it's like that part grew in me, and I just don't feel like I want to go anywhere. And so, I mean, that's why I can't really do any more readings because I'm just gonna keep saying that, and until it's like coned,
Right.
which it makes me wonder, like if it was a backhoe, like exactly how far down he is, because I don't know if the like the rocks I saw, with like the shirt, I don't know if that's him or that's Aiden, or because it kind of doesn't make sense. Like the two visions don't make sense together.
Right.
Because I do again like getting a headache looking at this area. like really bad headache. Like my head feels like it's gonna explode. And that could be because something happened there as well, but I'm definitely picking up the energy of something happening there. But at the same time, I feel like even though I can't really scroll up on this picture, it doesn't feel like I want to go anywhere. You know? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's helpful. I don't know that any of this is helpful. All we can hope. And
that is so weird. I wonder if this was taken, or the maps was updated after.
I don't know. It's like, I mean, it's got to be right because he took it off of his map that he already had. It's just, I don't know if Earth would look any different or not. Oh, yeah, man. And I know he doesn't live far from Monticello, so.
Right.
Because I feel like he went there a lot, right? So.
Yeah. Well, that's where he would go eat. Yeah.
I'm getting like a major headache. And like so bad. My ears hurting, my nose hurting, my teeth hurt, everything's hurting.
And you're over where he planted his crops, right?
I'm at that area, yeah. I mean, I don't know where is where. I just know I'm in the area of the red dot. And
Okay.
it started with the other thing. So it doesn't feel right to go up or down, or it doesn't feel right to go anywhere, really.
I wonder if did he plant all 600 acres, or like what was that his plan?
I don't know. I just know he has like a really large acreage, and I don't think it's been scoured. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of, if he is buried there, I'm just like wondering. I don't know how they'll ever find him. I don't know if radar would work. If he's buried further than what a dog can smell, I'm not sure that would be helpful. Depending if they use the backhoe or not.
Right.
It's just weird. I don't know. Because I've been thinking about it on and off for the past, when we were going to do this reading.
Yeah.
I kept thinking about his location, and it's always the same. It's always like I want to go like to the back of, I think, his property, but it's almost like I start from the trailer and walk backwards. Like walk to the back of the property. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's where his crops are or not. Like I don't know. But all those things are what I'm getting with him. And I think the headaches is just a confirmation, because I don't feel it anywhere else on the map. Like I could scroll up, it goes away. I go over, it goes away. You know what I mean? Like it gets really strong when I hit the area where his stuff is. And again, I could be picking up on what happened to him, but I mean, I think it's more than that, because as I'm scrolling, it doesn't feel like I want to scroll anywhere. Right. You know, like I said for Quentin, it was like I wanted to go up. Mm-hmm. And that was right. Like I felt like I kept wanting to go up the map, like up the road, up the freeway.
Right.
To that specific area. Like I was pulled that way, but this, I'm not just like really being pulled anywhere, which is weird because before I was all over the map on the lives, but I think that my mapping has gotten better, like a lot better since then. So I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days, and I keep getting like, I can't get away from his property.
It's your cup.
That's my cup.
Had to show it.
I know, and I made some more too. So I don't know. I think that's it. He's like, my head is like killing me. It's like, I don't know. It's pounding.
He's trying to tell you got it.
I think so. I mean, it's not letting up as I'm staring at this. So,
right.
And now it's going into my chest and everything. It's just, I mean, and I don't know what to do about it. It's one of those things where I really can't do anything about it.
Right.
Are you? And you don't have the I mean, you don't have family's permission, so it's like There's the information. Do with it what you guys want.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So it's late for Tammy. It's like almost 5 o'clock in the morning. She needs to go to bed. I need to go to bed. Now that he's got my head hurting, it's gonna take a minute to go away because that's just how it is. But it's just weird. It's almost like he's not wanting to give all the information, and that might be because they already have it, or it might not. They don't want, I don't really know.
Yeah.
I just give what I get, and that's it. So
You just have a headache? Because I have a headache right here now.
I mean, it's vague since I quit looking at it. It's just like
Okay.
in going away, kind of, But it's weird. Like I'm not being pulled anywhere either when I look at the map. So I just kind of feel strongly like it's that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okie dokie then. Artichoke. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. All the ways to support me are down below. Oh, is it going to show it?
Yeah, it just did a minute show. Oh. There you go.
There, and also down below in the description box. It does help support my work with Spirit, and make sure that you like and subscribe because, well, that helps me reach more people.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys again soon.